Clear skies means all systems go for this July redux of Central Valley Fuego and Forward Madison, presented by Dairyland Insurance. Welcome one and all to this broadcast. My name is Mark Schoenster. Excited to get through this one. They could not conclude it 11 days ago, only got through about 36 minutes. Hopefully, knock on wood, we get through all 90 here this evening. Let's take a look at that game that never happened. You're watching this footage. None of this counts. I'm sorry, Christian Chaney. This ball hitting the back of the net does not count to your tally of goals scored this season. As I mentioned, it was 11 days ago that these two teams were supposed to clash and supposed to log in this fixture, but instead they would go to the locker room after about 36 minutes for a weather delay, only to find out later that they would not be taken to the pitch again. Though luckily for us, the game is already back on under 2 weeks later. Here's a look at the standings. Madison in the race for the top of the table. It's currently sitting at 5th, but it is a tight race as of right now. So many different horses trying to claim that top spot, and the Mingos are certainly in that mix. Meanwhile, Central Valley Fuego all the way at the bottom, but they just got to win in the cup competition. They're trying to flip their script and start to chase after that playoff line in these final few months. Talking about the Jägermeister Cup, Forward Madison getting a win at home over the weekend against a staunch Lexington side. They're stingy, they do not break easily, and it takes a magical goal like this from Wolfgang Prentice off the bench to get all 3 points for the Mingos. Goes to show you how hard it is to score against Lexington, but Madison were able to find what they needed to get all 3 points, and they've been able to find what they've needed a lot this season. Just look at these numbers all the way down the board. They've been majorly impressive, both offensively and defensively, and on top of that, they have been squeaky clean at home. No losses in their fortress of Bree Stevens Field, and they'll look to maintain that high quality here tonight against Central Valley Fuego. Meanwhile, for Central Valley, they've been trying so hard to get a win recently. They've been playing very well in their matches, but they haven't been able to scrap out a result until last weekend at home against Spokane. A volleyed effort from Siobhan John Brown, pop it and rock it into the back of the net. Tight angle shot from him. Incredible effort and a 1-0 victory for Jermaine Jones's side. And maybe that is what could turn the tide on the season for Central Valley. You see here a lot of close games, including against Northern Colorado Hailstorm, where they're up 2-0, only to find that victory lost in the last moment of the game on the road to make it 2-2. But now they got that win. Can they build off that confidence and build some momentum going forward? Can the Mingos maintain their spotless home record, or have the boys from Fresno started a fire that can't be stopped? Find out next for some midweek mayhem on ESPN+.
Not bad. My name is John Murphy. Pausani Ferry Sosa.
Soy Juan Galindre.
I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin.
Da, 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 da. Justicia.
Justice.
Justice. Justice.
Justice from the ground. Justice from the ground up.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget. And 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person. With new vehicles arriving every day, your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
Let's take a look at the 22 players that will be taking the pitch to start off this game between Forward Madison and Central Valley Fuego. First off, the home side starting 11 brought to you by the Madison Concourse Hotel. A 4-4-2 for Matt Glazer's side, which means, yep, up top it's Cheney Galindrez and Devin Boyce. We'll have a lot of options to feed this ball to. Both the strikers in the formation to start things off, which may open things up for the likes of Boyce and Gebhardt to get some goal-scoring opportunities of themselves, because Central Valley Fuego's hands are definitely going to be full with those two big guys up top. Speaking of Central Valley, here's their starting lineup. They'll also be running a 4-4-2, but this in a diamond formation. Chris Heckenberg will be looking to feed the likes of Denbor Benson and Siobhan John Brown. Scored that goal in the last game against Spokane. Tight angle shot. They're looking to pick up and maybe find some form here. And Siobhan John Brown, goal-scoring wise, is looking to do the exact same thing. Jermaine Jones is confident that he could be a star in this league if he could recognize his moments to strike. He has the quality. Now it's just about showing it more and more often in league play. And what better time to do it than against currently, arguably, the best defense in USL League One. The stats would back it. You can see the Mingos ready to get things going. Christian Cheney in the center circle. The whistle blows, and we are underway for a second attempt at Forward Madison and Central Valley Fuego in July. We welcome you in on this broadcast to Kickoff Week 15. I'm Mark Schoenster, excited to see how this one goes. Christian Cheney off the post, but the whistle did blow. Had a goal taken away from him when these two teams met last, looking to get it right back. A promising moment right out the gate for the Mingos. Was it to be there? You heard the whistle of our head official, Mario Maric, who was also the head official of that game 11 days ago. So as many factors that were laid out for that game back in earlier in July, looking to be recreated here. Although one thing that is different is Central Valley in their black uniforms, shaking it up in that department. Saw the goal from that 1-0 victory over Lexington for Forward Madison. Matt Glazer, the head honcho, said that Lexington's a good team. They've been a bit unlucky this season so far. They're a tough side to break down, but he felt that they created their moments and defended really well. He said that Lexington didn't have too many good opportunities in that match, and then the subs came on and made an impact. And that's not just, of course, talking about the goal that Wolfgang Prentice scored off the bench, but he felt just in general, subs came on, changed the flow of the game in their favor, and then tacked the goal on top of that. Let's take a look at our keys to the game. Starting, or first off, brought to you by Burish Group at UBS. First off for Madison, vigilant possession. This is a Central Valley Fuego side that likes to press, and so when you have the ball at your feet and you got a player coming, you can't be sloppy. Meanwhile, for Central Valley Fuego, they need to bring that Fresno tempo. They want to keep this game at a high pace. Do not let Madison get the chance to start thinking about things and processing information. This ball over top for Gebhardt. Villalobos sends it to the right-hand side for Payne. Madison looking to cook something up here now that Central Valley's in the low block. Service, winding in. Juan Galindrez got a piece of it. Couldn't quite attack the net when he made contact. As we look on the Dairyland replay, he was able to at least redirect it towards goal. Carlos Aviles able to handle it though. So a 1-0 win for Madison on the weekend, a 1-0 win for Central Valley Fuego on the weekend. And they were able to knock off Spokane Velocity Jermaine Jones said that we played some good games recently, so I told them before the game that they just had to grind out a result. He's really happy that they got the clean sheet as we take a peek at Derek Gebhardt, who's a bit slow to get up, the Mingo veteran. Good news to see him back up on his feet. Coach Jones was very pleased that they were able to get the clean sheet. It's been a long time since they've been able to do that at home. Said it could have easily been 3-0 or 4-0, but we take the result against a good team, and now it's about carrying it forward. And this is a tough fixture to follow up with that, trying to carry that momentum. This is a Madison side that is of such a high quality, especially here on their home soil, in front of the rowdy fans of Bree Stevens Field. Aviles gets there before Cheney could. Jose Carrera Garcia gets that one tapped away from him. John Murphy marking him on that play. Got a fun slate of games here in week 15, starting off with this one. Of course, not originally slated to be part of the week of action here. Jose Carrera Garcia cuts in, tries the cross. League One vet Jose Carrera Garcia. Give it to Omar Lemus. Heckenberg dishing this one out. Now it's redirected for Javon John Brown. Couldn't get to him. Instead, it's Bernd Shipman. Tied for the league lead in clean sheets with Sean Lewis. But then if you combine Jägermeister Cup play with league play, it's Bernd Shipman by himself with 8 clean sheets. Really, as far as the conversation of best defensive side in the USL League One, it's between Madison and Knoxville. Those are the two that have stood out above the rest in that discussion. All that to say that Central Valley on the road gonna need a lot to score against this team, as this ball lobbed forward for Galindres won't come to anything. So usually when you get a game rescheduled, it ends up being punted down a month or two down the road to find a spot for it to be rescheduled. It's not often that you see the game just under 2 weeks later actually take place, with the exception of sometimes a game can get postponed to the very next day before teams have to travel out, but that wasn't the case. Just 11 days later. Ask Matt Glazer if he prefers it quickly done or down the road. So that was a bit of a precarious moment. Mitch Osmond is able to get it away, though. Calm under some pressure, which is exactly what Madison need to be today. Bodies are going to be flying at them. So you got to make sure your touch is good. And you keep your head on a swivel. Don't want to give away anything cheap. But as far as the rescheduling is concerned, Matt Glazer said it's not really ideal either way. But he would have preferred it down the road, because now you have to adjust your training regimen on a time. I mean, you find out the game's postponed just 10 days after. Kind of changes your whole itinerary for the next 2 weeks. This ball sent in. Boyce plays it back centrally. This one, another moment that won't be for the Mingos as we look at the UW Health Sports Medicine injury report. Two big defensive pieces for Jermaine Jones' side, Deshaun Nembard and Jason Ramos. Both still on the recovering end of injuries. Madison feeling pretty good right now. A couple of nicks around, but nothing that's keeping a player off the sheet. Of course, in the midweek, sometimes you have players whom, if they had the full week to be all right, or at least to get better, then they would be available. But as of right now, Matt Glazer has his full assortment of players to choose from. Talk about the whole rescheduling thing. Matt Glazer said that so much goes into it. You have to fit both team schedules. You have to figure out vendor availability. Is the field available, since Stevens Field is host to other things, other events in the Madison, Wisconsin area. He mainly feels for the players, though, as frustrating as it is for him and his staff to fix things. Having to slip a game into the middle of the week when you play on both sides of the week on the weekends. I mean, it takes a toll on your body. Siobhan John Brown. Pass to Heckenberg. Now Carrera Garcia. Doesn't have to force anything. There's Clayton Torr. Now the youngster Javier Mariona playing it back to Dabo. Some sustained possession in the attacking half for Central Valley Fuego. Look at these moves from Abdul Razak Cromwell. Still dancing with the ball. Some promising moments here for Central Valley. This service drives in, doesn't get too far. Timmy Mail will knock it away. But the pressure continues for the away side. Torr floats this one forward. Kroll able to usher that one out for a goal kick. So a good moment here for the away side, and of course a good moment over the weekend. And it wasn't just the fact that they won. Jermaine Jones said that it was the way that they won. They had control in that game. He talked about how his side has had games recently where they've had the lead, like against Northern Colorado, and let it slip away at the last minute. But they didn't do that this time. This time they held on and were able to get all 3 points, and they did it in confident fashion. Nothing cheesy. We're the better team, and they have the result to back it up. So if you could build off of that, keep it steamrolling through the week, and if you can imagine, if you could get a result on the road against Forward Madison, then a confident win at home, and then you build with a confident result against Madison in the middle of the week on the road, then you're really getting somewhere. And with the expanded playoff slots this season, 8 teams making the playoffs, although they're at the bottom of the table, they are certainly far from being out of the discussion. The latter half season run, more than in the cards. But it's got to start somewhere. Jimmy Villalobos threads that one forward. Boyce to Galindrez, but getting there first is Omar Lemus. There's a long ball forward. Siobhan John Brown, can he get there first? No, he cannot. Bert Shipman outside of his penalty area, gets a touch on the ball. He needed to get that one right. And now the Mingos quickly going the other direction. And now Boyce will slow things down. And although those 36 minutes of game played don't count in the record book, they certainly count for these two teams when it comes to getting to know each other, as Stephen Payne drives this one centrally, and entry is denied by Lemus. A corner kick for the Mingos. Canopy Wealth Management corner kick. Canopy Wealth Management is donating $50 to Forward Madison FC's mini pitch fundraising project for each home corner kick taken by Forward Madison FC. So there's $50 into the bank right here. Now can the Mingos cash in and find their first goal of the night? Ball driven in, still in the thickets. Here's an effort from Murphy. Having gotten a taste of Central Valley Fuego 2 weeks ago, Matt Glazer said there's a big difference in style and personnel. He said it's a tough, man-oriented, high-pressing group. And he mentioned that they need to be good on the ball because of that. He said they've evolved closer to what they want to be. You can see the stamp now from Jermaine Jones on this team. Ball roll all the way to the feet of Carlos Aviles. The whistle blows, free kick for Central Valley Fuego. Siobhan John Brown going to the ground. Get yourself the latest Forward Madison merch online or at the Flamboyance team store at Breese Stevens Field. Look at all these lovely people here donning many of the different wonderful pieces of merch and jerseys that Forward Madison come out with every single season. The wonderful color scheme and patterns and all the funky and fun designs that this organization comes out with. You get jerseys so good that people from other countries buying them even though they've never spent a day of their lives in Madison, Wisconsin. Siobhan John Brown from Brooklyn, now in Fresno, California, trying to make his name known in USL League One. 2 goals in league play and another goal in the cup competition. Chris Heckenberg, he can shoot it from distance, and he does so here. Saved by Bernd Shipman. German goalkeeper called to action. Although will technically count as his first save of the day. It's the second moment that he's needed to make something happen after coming out of his box earlier. Jermaine Jones talking about this Madison team. In those 36 minutes they played last time out, he said you could definitely take stuff away from it. He mentioned that we saw their ideas and their strengths. With that, we've been able to work on how to handle them and what we can do against them these past few days in preparation. So although statistically and in a record-keeping sense that game doesn't count, doesn't matter, it certainly matters for these two teams, for their coaching staffs in preparation for this game here this evening. Shove there means a free kick earned by Devin Boyce. Service comes floating in a bit too high. Mariona gets the clearance. And then the second launching of the ball gets a little bit further out of danger for Central Valley. Pressure from Dabo ends up being a fouling effort, according to our head official, Mario Maric. That was Dabo against John Murphy. The Dairyland replay. Villalobos playing it to Murphy, and he taps out to Boyce. Some control here for the Mingos as they prod forward. Some contact after the pass, as it appears Heckenberg went down. Means it'll be a free kick for Central Valley Fuego. Madison, just a moment before they had an avenue to push forward, enter that attacking third with some promise. Jose Carrera Garcia loses his footing and the ball as a result of it. Wins it right back though. Gets tripped up from behind, and a free kick for Central Valley Fuego incoming. So just moments after losing the ball, Jose Carrera Garcia wins it right back. The USL Summer of Soccer continues on CBS. Surging Detroit City FC, led by first-year head coach Danny Dicio, hosts newcomer Rhode Island FC with reigning USL Championship Player of the Year Albert Diqua on August 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern on the CBS network. Ball bending in, headed outward by Mitch Osmond. Captain earning the clearance. Let's see what Central Valley Fuego can do here from this set piece. Jose Carrera Garcia from the right corner flag. Service comes in. He's looking to connect there with Denbar Benson. Wouldn't end up being the case. Now this one blasted out for Amingo's throw. Matt Glazer pleading to the head official about a repeat offense, it appears, holding up two fingers. Now some discussion. I believe that's Christian Cheney. Asked Matt Glazer if their film session was shorter the week after the game cancellation against Central Valley Fuego, since they only had 36 minutes of film, and he said, well, actually, maybe longitudinally it's shorter, but usually you deep dive into about 20 minutes of game time, and the fact that it was 36 minutes just means that the 20 minutes you select is a shorter span of time to choose from. But he said, I mean, you could pull a clip every 30 seconds and really dive into everything that's going on with the team. So it didn't change the amount of time spent, just made it easier to pick out the 20-minute segment. And he mentioned, worth re-emphasizing, that it was great to still have that game because they were able to get a little bit more familiar with the unique way that Central Valley Fuego play now. So not all for naught. Murphy, the corner, taps it back to Boyce. Nice little touch to Cheney, but Cheney let it get away from him. That came off the boot wrong. And Mariona can't get there in time Throw in for Madison. Stephen Payne. A loose touch there gets the ball away from him, but the Mingos recover possession quickly. Lob ball forward for Boyce, but it's well closed off by Omar Lamous. Juan Galindrez working on Tor. Plays it up top. Murphy to Boyce. This one's up in the air. Cheney can't quite bring it in. And now Jose Carrera Garcia will traverse some traffic. Hebberg will have to do the same. And the Mingos once again with possession. Gebhard. Stephen Payne getting closed off by Lamous. Payne winding around the outside, plays it in, and it's out of bounds. It did suffer a deflection, though, so it will be another corner kick brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management. Stephen Payne showing some of his quickness here. Just earning a glance, which means another set piece for the Mingos. Boyce drives it inside. Still in the fray, now cleared out. Rolls out for a throw-in. Tune in to ESPN2 for a USL Summer of Soccer showdown, as last season's top two sides from the East and the West face off in an inter-conference clash, with perennial powerhouse Sacramento Republic FC hosting Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC, Saturday, August 3rd, at 11 p.m. Eastern. Game taken off at 11 p.m. Eastern, so take a wild guess where that game is being played between Pittsburgh or Sacramento. A little push from Juan Galindrez there. Earn him a warning from Mario Maric. No more of that, he says. Mariona. Certainly not as big as the 6-foot-tall Juan Galindrez. Between him and Christian Cheney, that's two bullies up top for forward Madison, and two proven goal scorers in the history of USL League One. Central Valley Fuego familiar with the latter of the two, Christian Cheney, having played with Central Valley before coming over to Madison. Villalobos. It's a return to him. And notice just how much pressure that Central Valley will apply throughout this game. Jermaine Jones said that we want to keep the tempo high, keep the pressure on. And he said that they've got some big, confident strikers. It's going to take a lot to keep them in check. So that's one of the things that he acknowledged about this Mingo team. Sometimes you just have to deal with one of them at a time between Cheney and Galindrez, but they're getting both of them here to start things off in this game. We'll see if both of them play the full 90 or if one or two of them get subbed off at some point in time. Definitely not out of the realm of possibility that both get subbed out, with the embarrassment of riches that Matt Glazer has on this team and sitting on the bench. You've got Sharif J, which is another former Central Valley Fuego player, along with Wolfgang Prentice, who just scored in the last game. And then, oh yeah, Garrett McLaughlin, who still waiting to make his league debut for the Mingos, having appeared in 2 Jägermeister Cup games. Tor. One's lost. It'll roll back to Bernd Shipman and he'll boot it towards midfield. Devin Boyce continues to persist there. And now it's Juan Galindres. The player streaking behind him, sends it forward. Tried to connect with the outside of his boot to Christian Cheney. Didn't quite get the bend right. Siobhan John Brown now. He shows the persistence. Heckenberg able to withstand the sliding challenge from Boyce there. And it's going to be a yellow card for that trip from Jose Carrera Garcia, his 3rd of the season. It's been an interesting first 30 minutes. Both sides with some opportunities, but neither has truly had the keeper on their toes, having to do anything too drastic. That yellow card brought to you by Dairyland, our first booking of the evening. Once again, we welcome you in if you're tuning in as either a Madison fan, a Central Valley Fuego fan, or an interested third-party observer, whether it be as a fan of USL League One or even just as a fan of the USL in general, because no USL Championship games tonight. It's the lone fixture on this wonderful July 24th. Both these teams looking for a good result here, and then they'll turn their attention to this weekend in Week 15 action, both having that turnaround and match on Saturday. Kroll plays this one in, was looking for Galindres. Cheney is able to get that one away despite being pincered by 2 different defenders, and then Kroll couldn't keep it in bounds. So Central Valley Fuego will have possession now. Been a lot of energy here at Bree Stevens Field this season. A lot of great crowds, a lot of great noise. I asked Matt Glazer if it's been louder and a little bit more energetic than already the high standard of Bree Stevens Field this year, or have I just not been paying as close attention as I should, and I'm just not used to the energy that's brought here, that you could just get unused to it after not being away from it for a while. And he said, well, I mean, yeah, there's a little bit more energy, but the difference is that we haven't lost at home yet, knock on wood, he said. And he said it's always going to generate more buzz when that's the case, when you're performing really well. But they always bring the excitement, rain or shine. He said he couldn't ask for more from this community. They genuinely care about this club, and after years and years of them bringing the energy whenever the team has performed well or performed poorly, they've definitely earned to have a season like the one they are having so far. From their home opener to now, Fort Madison been one of the standards in USL League One for home environments representing USL League One. Them and their Henny Darby rivals, the Richmond Kickers, both have always been so superb in attendance numbers and energy at their facility. Payne rolling it ahead to Boyce. And he gets shrugged off that ball by Abdul Razak Cromwell. Slipping in as center back here today. Got 3 defenders on that back line who at times have played in a fullback spot. Clayton Tor, Omar Lamous, and Abdul Razak Cromwell, those three players, but it's Razak Cromwell who ends up sitting next to Acha Isayaya, the young defender from Ghana. Gebhard trying to shield away Mariona, but the 19-year-old getting the better at the end of it. Now here's Siobhan John Brown making a run. Can he get by Osmond? He squares it and it clips John Murphy, and now he needs to get out of trouble. And he does so effectively, and it'll be a throw in for Madison. Kroll gets it out of the corner. Good challenges mean Central Valley Fuego had possession once again. Heckenberg. Isayaya now. Mariona tripped up and loses possession. Tor still tussling for it. Now it's Galindrez. Select the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. I talked about the great fans at Bree Stevens Field watching this game. Also shout out the lovely people at Crow and Wolf Brewing Company for the watch party for Central Valley. Hope your evening is going well over there. And as always, make sure you tip well. Another 10 more minutes to go in this one, plus added time. So far been pretty smooth sailing, so unless something transpires here in the next 9 minutes, I wouldn't expect a lot of time tacked on. It's also worth noting we've now hit 36 minutes, which means that this game has now gone longer than the previous meeting between these two sides. So congratulations to these two clubs for making it this far. Being pressed, rolls it up to Gebhard. Now they'll switch it over to the right-hand side. Now up to Stephen Payne. Pretty even so far between these two teams. Neither side showing too much weakness thus far. Kroll, can he change that here? Plays it inside! And it's redirected into the back of the net. And cue the acrobatics. Christian Cheney wins back his goal from the canceled game. 1-0 Madison. Christian Cheney with his 6th goal in league play this season. It's a lovely ball up to Kroll. And Cheney running towards the ball. Does well to flick it towards goal. And Carlos Aviles, not enough time to react and stop that one. And the trademark Cheney celebration feels so good for the Madison fans in attendance. So after what has been an evenly played match for 37 minutes, Forward Madison take control at home. All home goals sponsored by Dairyland Insurance. Brought to you by Dairyland and Christian Cheney. That is how the goal scoring gets started in this game and gets started in week 15, USL League One season. And Kroll gets his first assist in league play this year. Has one assist in the Jägermeister Cup, so one apiece for him in each competition. And now it's a matter of how will Central Valley Fuego respond. They've had some good moments in this game, but they haven't had Bert Shipman do anything too strenuous as of yet. Boy, is it tough to score on these Mingos. So the Mingo fans with something to celebrate before the half concludes. They'll also have something to celebrate at halftime. They'll be recognizing Eric Leonard, whom left the club to play for Chicago Fire too, but he is now retiring, and he's going to retire as a Mingo. They'll be shouting him out and recognizing him at halftime. As Jose Carrera Garcia weaving forward, able to poke. Now he'll rush to track it down and keep possession. Eric Leonard, the first Mingo player to hit 100 competitive appearances for Forward Madison, a guy who at times has been described as a warrior by the guys at the helm coaching Forward Madison. So definitely a beloved player and name in the brief history of Forward Madison. He's always a fighting player, as that he played with a lot of heart. And it's going to be heart that Jermaine Jones' side's going to need here. Villalobos searching for Stephen Payne, but that ball bit too high, floating out of bounds. Look at Javier Mariano there, dancing by Galindres. Approach halftime, we got highlights to show you after the first commercial break, and then we also will talk a little bit about the summer of soccer and, of course, the big news that broke today in USL League One. We'll touch base on it at that point in time. Won't give you any spoilers if you aren't familiar. Heckenberg rolling it to his left. Sending it inside for Lemus. Can he get there in time? No, he cannot, but a consolation prize for the visitors. Timmy Mel tapping it out for a corner kick. Can Central Valley find a response from the set piece? High arcing cross. It's Mariona and some neon green boots. Lamousse floating it up at too far. Benson was the closest one to it. Nothing to be there for Central Valley. I don't think if you're the visitors going into the break, you throw everything you've done out the window. Of course, you've got to find an equalizer, but I definitely wouldn't be the most upset by how you've performed in the first 45. Of course, you'd always love a couple more chances and a couple more opportunities to test Burnt Shipman, but this is such a tough team to break down in Madison. And of course, if you start getting too reckless too early, this is a Mingo team that'll take advantage of that and hurt you. If you're Madison, you're inviting the pressure and hoping that with the added stress of trailing, you could find more moments to exploit. Boyce. That's Payne. Ball gets popped inside. And it'll sail all the way out of bounds for a throw. And you see 1 minute as forecasted being added to the clock. So no 16 added minutes for you Moroccan and Argentinian fans today. Gebhard. Rolling it up to the right-hand side. Galindrez sends Payne running. Payne back to the top of the 18, just behind Gebhard, but he keeps it in the thicket. Maybe one more opportunity for the Mingos if they take it. Kroll switching the point of attack. Cheney heads it along, and Aviles gets to it. And that should just about do it for the first 45 minutes. There's that whistle. A steady first 35 minutes, and then one moment taken advantage of by the Mingos. Christian Cheney heading it home to make it 1-0 in favor of the home side as they look to keep up in the race for the Players' Shield. 1-0 Mingos going into the halftime break against Central Valley Fuego. We'll see how these two teams answer and adjust going into the second half. Guys like Matt Glazer and Jermaine Jones will do some tinkering. They'll make their adjustments, and we'll see if that makes a difference in the second half. But before that, we have some great halftime content coming your way on ESPN+. We'll see you after this break.
Tomorrow. We've been expecting you. At TrueStage, we've been preparing for tomorrow for almost a century, helping businesses give their customers, members, and clients what they need to move forward with confidence. Because for us, the future brings possibility, protection, innovation, growth. With financial solutions across insurance, investments, and technology, the people you serve can take on tomorrow, today. So what are you waiting for? Tomorrow, here we come.
It's an S. On that back. My name is John Murphy. Pausani Ferry Sosa.
Soy Juan Galindre.
I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Just it.
Ta, 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 ta. Justicia.
Justice.
Justice. Justice.
Justice from the ground up. Justice from the ground up.
So at the River, we serve people that are struggling to make ends meet. We've been in our current warehouse for almost 20 years. We've run out of space. We need a bigger facility so that we can be more efficient in serving our community. The river is in a multi-million-dollar campaign. Money that we raise will be used to build a purpose-built facility for our community here in Dane County.
Give to the river because the river is giving to everyone.
Being a decent human and giving back to the community that you're from and you live in is just so important.
Your gift will make a lasting impact. Please help to make a difference.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person, with new vehicles arriving every day. Your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
Back here for halftime as they recognize Eric Leonard, a Mingo legend, being recognized as he retires as a Mingo. Let's take a look at the sights and sounds from Week 14 as we kickstart Week 15. Let's take it away to our wonderful announcers who covered each individual game from that weekend. Into training every day. You're doing the same old eventually. As this one's given away and it's a goal!
Well, that was the mistake Rick Wright was talking about. Unfortunately, it was for Oliver Harald.
Kunga slips by one defender. Long goes Kunga! Couldn't get through Rankenberg.
He looked up and was waiting for help at the back post, but it wasn't there in time, so he just try and shoot.
Youth. Atez Youth could be away here. It's a bad mistake at the back from Tormenta right before halftime. Atez Youth shuffling on his right and firing into the back of the net. The man who created the chance dispatches it. Lexington go ahead shortly before the interval. Cross to the front post. Fonseca cuts it back. And the equalizer from Sebastian Vivas. Off the bench, onto the score sheet, and Tormenta are level. Jackson Corey sticking with it. Second ball played in and headed in. Pedro Fonseca has been sniffing around goal all night long and gets the go-ahead header in the 87th minute.
He gets disrupted by King, but Calixto tries to cross anyways. Kelly leaves it, shoots, scores! Another stoppage time stunner! Knoxville take the advantage in the 94th! Castro, a man up, a goal up. And that's the second goal for Rudy Castro, the first for Knoxville, and they rip the 3 points away from the Hailstorm.
Statistically, the worst defense in the league. They've conceded 23 goals this season. On goal over the top. Marsh is there. Marsh with the header. It's in. Inside 40 seconds. Chattanooga lead. Mensah on the turn. On a goal. Will Papa Mensah 2 goals in next to no time. Played in behind for Bilhar, he keeps it in play. Ball is loose and the back heel from Terzaghi, and the lead is cut in half. Chance, a little bit of a surprise that Lukic even went for the free kick. It wasn't too far away. Oh, it's in! Siobhan Marsh seals the victory! Mistake out of the back by Richmond. And Siobhan Marsh seals the deal. Mingo within swing, ball is loose. Obertan, shot from distance, it's deflected and in from Johnson. Keeps it in play. Belmar across goal, deflected on the line. It's a goal, it's been given. And it will go down as an own goal, surely.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes, only want the best. Maybe riding every night, won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
Touchdown by Rodriguez. Going for goal. It's Morris, and it's in! Detroit City's ahead.
A bit of space as well. He'll have a go from distance. Oh, what a goal!
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
It's an S.
Oh, not bad. My name is John Murphy. Pausani Ferry Sosa. Soy Juan Galindre. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin. Da, 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 da. Justicia. Justice. 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 Justice from the ground. Justice from the ground up.
It's the Just Coffee Co-op halftime show here. 1-0 in favor of the Mingos. But it's all about number 3 at halftime as they recognize Eric Leonard in his retirement. Long time Mingo for forward Madison. Let's take a look at our slate of Summer of Soccer games. You just saw an ad moments ago for the CBS game Saturday, August 3rd between Detroit City FC and Rhode Island FC. A couple other great games taking place across other cable networks, CBS Sports Network, ESPN2, all getting some fun in USL Championship action. Meanwhile, on the League One side of things, we've got some great games this weekend brought to you by Electric E-Bikes. Both these teams playing. Madison will be up against the Hailstorm. Meanwhile, a late night game to cap things off between Central Valley Fuego and Tormenta, both of which should be a good time as we also recognize tonight's Dental Health Associates fan of the game. And it's TJ Sargent. Thank you for going full Mingo for forward Madison. With that in mind, I teased before the first half ended about some breaking news that happened today. A massive congratulations to Nick Akoto, who has signed a 3-year deal with Burton Albion FC Brewers in League One in England. The EFL League One is a huge jump for him to go over there. It's the first paid international transfer in USL League One history, and it also breaks the current record in transfer fee for a USL League One player when Union Omaha sold Ryan Jiva to Minnesota United FC in early 2023. So massive congratulations to Nick Akoto, to Tormenta, and of course to the league as a whole, as this is a great milestone in the league. But with that being said, we're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have the first time highlights and stats leading into the second half of action here on ESPN+.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person. With new vehicles arriving every day, your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments. things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus, designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey, a small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
It's an S.
Oh, not bad. My name is John Murphy. Pausani Ferry Sosa. Soy Juan Galindre. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin. Justicia.
Justice.
Justice. Justice.
Justice
from the ground. Justice from the ground up.
Hey, excuse me.
Hi.
You know where the post office is?
Sure, follow me.
Okay.
It's just a few miles.
We're a different kind.
Here it is, cornstarch.
Whatever you're looking for, we'll take you right to it. Festival Foods, happy to help.
We're back here at Brees Stevens Field as Central Valley Fuego and Forward Madison FC do battle. Let's take a look at the first half highlights as we wrap things up for this halftime show. I'm Mark Schoenster, and these are the moments worth highlighting in the first 45 minutes of action. Pretty even Steven for the most part in this first half. Chris Heckenberg firing a shot against Bernd Shipman. He's able to get both hands on it. Doesn't have to dive too far to make the stop. And you see here this persistent moment from Devin Boyce. He got Juan Galindres running, but some quick tracking back and a service to Christian Cheney that was a bit lackluster from Galindres. Means nothing to come of it. These highlights, as you saw there, brought to you by Just Coffee Co-op. It would stay 0-0 until the 38th minute. As we look at this great ball from Mitch Osmond, lofting it up. Kroll with a great touch. And then his second touch is also really good. A pass to Christian Cheney. He flicks it on goal, gets the goal back that he lost from the game being abandoned. And it's 1-0 in favor of Forward Madison. And of course, what are some highlights without some gymnastics from Christian Cheney in the corner? Here are your halftime stats brought to you by Rhyme. Madison with more of the possession. Central Valley Fuego having good moments, though, with the ball at their feet. Just a shot on target for both sides. Of course, the shot on target really making a difference in this one for Forward Madison. 1-0 your scoreline. Just one yellow card in this one for Jose Carrera Garcia. So that's the only player you really need to keep your eye out on when it comes to any dodgy challenges here in the second half until, of course, more bookings are brandished. So the two sides will switch ends. The black-clad Central Valley Fuego will go right to left. Meanwhile, Forward Madison left to right. Let's see if the visitors can find a response, or will the Mingos hang on to this advantage and claim 3 more points at home? Only one way to find out, and that's to stay locked in here on ESPN+. I'm happy that you're joining us this evening on a fine Wednesday in July. This officially the second meeting of the season between these two sides. Last time they met was back in March, right at the end of March. Forward Madison won that game 3-0 on the road in Fresno. Goals from Gebhard, Murphy, and Devin Boyce, all in the first half. As we see already a couple of new faces out on the pitch for Central Valley Fuego. You already see Alfredo Midense and Raul Mendiola both in the pitch for Jermaine Jones. Siobhan John Brown and Jose Carrera Garcia making way. So once again, to reiterate, as this one's cleared away, Mendiola and Midense in the game. John Brown and Carrera Garcia are out. So Jermaine Jones not wasting any time with waiting to see how the second half starts off. He's gonna get these two dudes in and see if they can make a difference. Mendiola, the veteran, who was teammates with Jermaine Jones at one point in time, once upon a time. And they do something from this corner kick. Heckenberg drives it in, headed outward. Midense is there for it. Kroll, the assister on the first goal, is able to get that one away. Flag goes up. Derek Gebhard not onside. He's a bit taken aback by it, but the decision has been made. Midense loses it to the Mingos, but he keeps fighting for it, showing some vigor. See if these changes are able to do the trick for Coach Jones, former U.S. men's national team player. I'm sure he and most of us watching a little bit disappointed on the result today in the matchup against France, but the result's a result. This one just rolling by. Lamousse trying to make the run for Mendiola. Madison sure would love to get these players for Central Valley Fuego running and consuming all their energy. Lamousse in traffic, keeps fighting for it. Now they'll have possession in the attacking half. Heckenberg slices it over to the right-hand side. Mariona finds Midense. That's a great pass. Mariona inside! And a tight angle blast from the youngster levels things here in Madison. Javier Mariona with his first professional goal. And what a way to get it. Look at this exchange. Connects with Midense. And that's a lovely ball to Mariona. And there's not much First Shipment can do about that one. Rips it into the roof. And the Californian, who's received call-ups from El Salvador's U20 team, and for good reason, because he can do stuff like that. And we are back level in this one. The response Central Valley needed in this one, and they got it early to change the tenor of this match. It's the second assist of the year in league play for Alfredo Midense. So that's a substitute that Jermaine Jones did not hesitate to make coming out of the break, making a difference. It goes to show the confidence he has in the depth on this roster. He was telling me about it earlier this week when I asked him if there's any strategizing for this tight week where you have to travel from Fresno to Madison and travel back for a game on Saturday. Do you just keep any bodies in California? And I think the prevailing thought was that he's pretty confident in how many players he has on this roster, and so he's going to approach each game, game by game, trying to field the best team, and then if they have to adjust down the road in the next games, they can, because they have the players to do so. Midense now down, and gotten swiped by the boot of Murphy inadvertently. So Midense back up, which is good news, as we now recognize the Watomo Wild Rose boys varsity. They are tonight's Unity Point Health Meritor Youth Soccer Spotlight of the night. Thank you, Madison area youth soccer clubs, for your continued support. Youth soccer, of course, so pivotal to growing the game and bringing up the next Forward Madison player, the next Central Valley Fuego player. It wasn't too long ago that Javier Mariona was just a young player playing at a local club himself, now 19 years old, and now a professional goal scorer. Midense showing some aptness with the ball at his feet, and he may have just won his team a corner kick, and he has. Can the visitors grab this game by the reins? They'll take it short. Mendiola with a service inside. Still in the thick of things. Now it's knocked out for a goal kick. And the Mingos find an answer now that this game is level once again. Ball trying to sneak over to Galindrez, it won't reach him. No clean sheets tonight. As is so often the case in USL League One, midweek mayhem may be in full force. Not the cleanest of challenges from Stephen Payne, and a yellow card is coming his way for it. His first yellow card in league play this season. And just gets between the legs of Abdul Razak Cromwell. Mario Merich, our head official, reaches into his pocket. Whistle blows and free kick incoming for Madison. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 in the new Sirius XM app. Stephen Payne squares it centrally. Cheney with a good touch and a shot! Parried away. Carlos Aviles had to get both hands behind that one to push it outward. Mendiola now trying to spring free a runner on the right-hand side. That was Midense waiting for the ball. Murphy needs to be careful here. Heckenberg was tight on his heels. It's that Fuego pressure coming in. Midense plays it to his left. Mendiola's inside and he shoots, but the flag goes up. Getting dicey here at Breese Stevens Field. Both sides leaking more opportunities than they did in the first half. How about that turn from Christian Cheney? Able to bring that ball down, give himself an opportunity to fire it against net. But Carlos Aviles was able to get enough force to keep that one from going by him. Gebhard. And that might be a yellow card on Abdul Razak Cromwell, and it will be. his first yellow card in league play this season. Things opening up here in the second half. That's when substitutions can become even more critical. Matt Glazer hasn't decided to pull the trigger yet on any changes, but 3 are on the docket for Forward Madison here in a moment. They won't happen now. Boyce floats it up, headed back centrally, and Razak Cromwell provides the clearance. Great work there from Idense. When it comes to the art of the substitution, everyone's a little bit different, Matt Glazer told me. He said, for me, it's what I'm seeing on the pitch, what trends I'm spotting. He's always thinking about what kind of adjustments will help the group. He mentioned that he's in a pretty lucky spot that they have a lot of depth. So they have great attackers who could come in and win one-on-one when the game opens up, like it has here. Cheney nearly slipping by the back line. They also have guys who could shore up defensively to see out a result. I mean, this is a team that's so deep that Wolfgang Prentice wasn't even 18 in the game prior to the Lexington match. Gets into the 18 for that game, subs on, and scores off the bench. And boy, do we have some firepower coming. Garrett McLaughlin, Ferretti Sosa, and the aforementioned Wolfgang Prentice all coming into the game. These substitutions will all be brought to you by Festival Foods. As you see them all loading up on your screen now as we speak. So it'll be Wolfgang Prentice for Derek Gebhardt. Prentice coming off the bench last game, scored the game winner against Lexington. You've got Ferretti Sosa, the veteran, stepping in for Stephen Payne along the back line. And then Garrett McLaughlin making his League One debut in Madison colors in league play. He's already played 2 Jägermeister Cup games. This is not the first game he's played for Forward Madison, but it's his first league match since coming over from North Carolina FC. The reigning champs last year. He was one of the key pieces on that team for John Bradford. And here he is now. McLaughlin over to the left-hand side. Service comes in, and Avilés is able to clutch that one. Get yourself the latest Forward Madison merch online or at the Flamboyance team store at Brees Stevens Field. You can wear the jersey they're wearing right now. You can get a t-shirt or one of their other many fantastic jerseys that Forward Madison have on the shelves. Let's see if those substitutions make the difference for the Mingos in this game. Ferretti Sosa laying it up top. Cheney poking it over to McLaughlin. McLaughlin shoots! Great save by Avilés. It's still in the thicket, and now Dabo clears it out. Mendiola chasing his touch, nice back heel. This game has opened up tremendously. Sliding challenge knocks that ball out of play. Timmy Mel making the challenge. He gets a pat on the back from Lemous. McLaughlin's the one who turns and feeds, and it finds its way back to him. Nearly scoring his first goal as a Mingo. A long-time USL League One player, Garrett McLaughlin, getting his start first with Toronto 2. Then he made the shift over to North Carolina FC, won the League One title last year. Moved up to USL Championship with North Carolina FC. Not technically a promotion, but in every other sort it is. And then made his transfer back to USL League One, where he has terrorized defenses throughout the years. Sort of saw his role change throughout the years because he started off as a bona fide goal scorer as Cheney. If he could just get the ball off his feet, had a chance to catch Carlos Aviles off his line, but then he gets fouled. He was in a tight corner. There won't be a yellow card here for Acha Isayaya, but it seems to be his last warning. Spot where Aviles is. He is so far outside of his penalty area. Luckily, he had two defenders closing in on Cheney from the touch line. It's going to be very difficult for Cheney to test the goal there, but if he just gets it on frame, then Aviles is toast. Cheney's back up on his feet, which is a good sign, of course. Acha Isayaya, the one getting the warning there. One of the young players getting more minutes as the season has worn on. I talked to Jermaine Jones about him and Javier Mariona. These are two guys that were just getting minutes in Jägermeister Cup games at the beginning of the year to give them the opportunity to break onto the scene, and now they're full-on starters. Isayaya on that back line as a center back, which got to have a lot of trust in the guy for that, and Mariona having scored a goal in this game. Boyce, service comes in. It's knocked outward. Whistle blows as it may have been a boot to the face. And that's Omar Lamous, who is down. Clutching appears to be his neck or his collarbone. Yeah, Mitch Osmond. A boot there, just contact with Lamous, but he's back up on his feet. The team I thought about Acha Isayaya and Javier Mariona. Jermaine Jones said that they've gained confidence, but both are still young and still learning. Said with more time, they will get even better. Mentioned they're working on getting Acha more confident in communication. Meanwhile, Javier is ready to adapt and is learning every single day, and now he's learned how to score goals in League One, so getting that first one can be the catalyst for more confidence. McLaughlin is nearly through there. Mendiola had it for a moment. His teammate connected with him. Long ball forward for Prentice, but Aviles is there first. Whistle blows, free kick incoming for Central Valley Fuego. The USL League One is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. That ball cleared outward. Just a moment, Dabo will recover it. Go to USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. As we hit 65 minutes transpired in this one. As this one's back in and off the post. Denbor Benson nearly sneaking by the Madison defenses. It's a great ball. He got by Shipman, but he's denied by the woodwork. A quick counter opportunity for Central Valley. Central Valley find another goal and take the lead on the road. Or will it be the Mingos with some numbers going forward here? Prentice slides it inside. A tidy pass and a slotted finish for Devin Boyce. Mingos back up top. Devin Boyce knocking that one home, reclaiming the advantage for the Mingos, courtesy of a wonderful pass from someone who's turning into a bit of a super substitute in Wolfgang Prentice. Making the run here, several blue shirts streaking forward, and Prentice waits for the moment, and he connects on a dot to Devin Boyce. A lovely pass, and Boyce so composed, putting it home. He gets the crowd joyous once again. Devin Boyce's 4th goal of the season, the 3rd assist of the season for Wolfgang Prentice. And how about that substitute coming on and making an impact once again? Meanwhile, Boyce is having himself a stellar season, 4 goals and 1 assist for him. That goal brought to you by Dairyland Insurance and Devin Boyce. Central Valley Fuego have the lead once again. So Central Valley have come back down from a goal already once this half. Can they do it again? They've had some moments of promise. But look at Devin Boyce continuing to press. At times, I've definitely likened him to an Energizer Bunny, and I think that remains an apt comparison for a guy like Devin Boyce. He's fishing for his 2nd USL League One championship this season, after having won it with Union Omaha. It's the year they made the run all the way. Ready, Sosa. Devin Boyce showing some cheekiness here, getting it back to Murphy. Villalobos stepping forward, still going with it. Jimmy Villalobos sliding to keep possession to Wolfgang Prentice. Play goes on. Foul on Midense, and will now be a free kick for Forward Madison. This one will roll back to Mitch Osmond, the captain of a team full of some buzzing personalities here in Madison. As Kroll takes this one forward, it slips to Cheney. Christian Cheney can't get it by Aviles, and it's out for a corner kick. A dangerous opportunity for Christian Cheney to find a brace. You can see him headbutt Carlos Aviles after the fact. Well played there from the keeper. Definitely do not want Christian Cheney coming towards you with some steam and the ball at his feet. We get another Canopy Wealth Management corner kick. Boyce, the goal scorer, searching for an assist here. And it's into the hands of Carlos Aviles. Aviles, the goalkeeper, who's seen his fair share of clubs in USL League One, last with Chattanooga. Mel does well. Getting it back to Shipman, and he will stall as much time before picking it up. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Cheney. Standing a bit of contact there. Now Abdul Razak Cromwell lofting this one forward. Let's have it to the right-hand side for Midense. Can he do something with it? Trying Tries to rip it by some defenders. May not have been the best option, but Clayton Tort recovers it for the visitors. Dabo rolls it out wide. Here's Lamousse. Omar Lamousse. He's bested there by the veteran Ferretti Sosa. Now Boyce rolling this one back. Let's see how long in this game Central Valley can maintain their pressure. Garrett McLaughlin with Aviles way off his line. And then Cheney with the heavy touch. Sniffed out by Acha Isayaya. Idense. It's a nice ball to Lamousse. And he's once again thudded upon by Ferretti Sosa. Denying entry for a second time in a row. And now here's Christian Cheney. Or at least, so we thought for a moment. Offside flag goes up. Another substitution for Jermaine Jones' side. Ashkanov Apollon will come in. Let's see if the man from Boston can make the difference. The goal scorer, Javier Mariona, who will see his night come to a conclusion. The 19-year-old who scored the equalizer in this game, putting in a good shift. He's come a long way from being subbed out early in his debut in the Jägermeister Cup in Spokane. Here's McLaughlin with a streaker to his left. Prentice, nice step inside, takes the shot, couldn't put it on frame. Wolfgang Prentice already with a nice assist in this one. He's looking to add a goal to his tally. There's Javier Mariona as he starts to cool off. 19 years old. And the opportunity to prove himself at the USL League One level. We saw the news at halftime, Nick Akoto making his way across the pond. And this goes to show you that this league is developing young talent and proving that they can go elsewhere. And we've already seen some players leave USL League One and thrive at higher levels. Of course, we've got the League One poster child, Ricardo Pepi, who I believe scored a hat trick today in a friendly for PSV. As we see Tor comes swiping in on Garrett McLaughlin. That earns him his first yellow card in league action, but he has quite a few in the Jägermeister Cup. Brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. Lamousse sending it forward. This one popped ahead. Some appeals for a handball will not be acquiesced. This will trickle back to this Madison backline led by the likes of Mitch Osmond. And I was saying earlier, wearing the captain's armband on a team of some vibrant personalities on this Matt Glazer-led team. I asked him what has earned him that captainship outside of course being tenured, as we see another substitution here. And this is some firepower for Jermaine Johnson, a masked Zaire Vasquez. Looking to see if he can create a moment of magic for the visitors. Midense with some room to operate. Still Midense. He's closed in from behind. Now a free kick. You can see there, Dabo coming out, Vasquez coming in. That's a fully offensive move from Jermaine Jones. Sacrificing some stability for some more danger. This will go to Mel. This is a moment where you need some steady heads on the pitch for Madison, and Mitch Osmond's definitely that for forward Madison. Well, that man's looking to try to keep things unsteady. Osmond bested there for a moment, but he had teammates to help back him up. You want your captain to be an extension of yourself and your coaching staff on the pitch. Matt Glazer told me. He said Osmond's mentality is the closest to his on the team as Boyce brings it forward. Boyce gets tripped up, and that might be a second yellow card for Abdul Razak Cromwell. And it will be. So Central Valley Fuego down a man, and without Abdul Razak Cromwell on the weekend. And a dangerous free kick incoming as well for Madison, but things have gone from bad to worse for the visitors as Abdul Razak Cromwell makes his way to the tunnel. Or at least the tunnel substitute at Bree Stevens Field. I actually don't know what the entrance to the locker rooms really looks like. We'll see what Forward Madison can do here from the set piece. And now that they're up a man, they can definitely start to lull this game to sleep. John Murphy by himself right now, but Villalobos and Boyce aren't too far away. What's Murphy got up his sleeve? Oh, it's very close. Not a bad effort from John Murphy. His party tricks in the Just Coffee ad may not be that impressive, but that was a pretty intense strike there on the free kick. So with 10 minutes to go in this one, Forward Madison with a 1-goal lead and a 1-player lead. Both sides I'll start to see the end in sight. Christian Cheney probably couldn't affect that one. Likely in an offside position when the pass was executed. Now it's Madison that are applying some pressure here. For Madison, they'll be going up against the Hailstorm on the weekend. Tough clash with Zayed's crew. Meanwhile, Jermaine Jones and Central Valley Fuego will be making their way back home to play Tormenta. Prentice, with a straight line down, floats it up. And out of bounds harmlessly. Got a lot of fun games coming up this weekend. USL League One play. Outside of course, the aforementioned matchups between these two teams, we've got every single team playing on Saturday. So a full slate, 6 whole matches. Starts with Greenville and Knoxville and Lexington and Richmond to start off the day, and then it will be Central Valley and Tormenta to close things out. So that's about 6 straight hours of League One soccer on the docket. Inkling of time between the conclusion of the Madison Hailstorm game and the Omaha Chattanooga game before the Independence and Spokane kickoff. It'll be very tight, if any space at all. Of course, that's all this weekend. We still got some action to go here. We've seen crazier things happen in USL League One than a team coming back from a man down. Oh my goodness. Raul Mendiola with the clearance. That ball went out hot and it looked like it hit a fan in the head, so he goes to the stands to check up on the person. Looks like the fan is doing all right, but holy smokes. I tell you from personal experience, getting hit in the head by a soccer ball that's going at a high velocity, that'll rattle you. Valley getting possession. Maybe one of the few times they've had it since they've gone down a man. Let's see if they can make something of it. Mendiola wafting it forward. Lemus can't keep it in play. Domingo's looking to continue a wonderful form at home. Of course, undefeated on the season. They've won their last 2 games at home. Midense, after a couple of juking moves, tried to shoot, but that one well above the crossbar. Home games, Madison. Just 2 draws total, the rest of which W's for the Mingos. The Kickers and Tormenta, the only 2 teams to come out with anything from a game here at Bree Stevens Field this season. Pollen up forward, but it only finds Jimmy Villalobos. Garrett McLaughlin will go running now. McLaughlin, one-on-one with Tor, and Clayton Tor does well there. Now it's Prentice. Doesn't need to force anything. He can play it back just like that after traversing to the corner. If the Fresno players were running before going down a man due to their play style. They're definitely running now, trying to chase after the ball. Playing at a man disadvantage and a goal disadvantage. Tor. This mounts all the way back to Shipman. And once again, he'll stall as much time as possible. Shipman, after a stellar opening year in USL League One last season, is continuing it here in year 2. Has not lost any steam. McLaughlin didn't put enough juice on that pass to Prentice. Acha Isayaya down on the ground. Midense getting tugged by Sosa. A professional foul that will earn him a yellow card. One of those moments where a business decision's made by Sosa. Not gonna risk anything at this point in the game. Doesn't have any yellow cards yet this season, so not a guy who is prone to commit that second yellow card foul. Shipman boots it forward. A hopeful ball brought down by Benson. And Midense couldn't get it by the defender. This is where Aviles is going to have to make his way forward. Try to act as almost half a player on the pitch for Central Valley Fuego in possession. Shipman once again can kill time as we're in the 90th minute. See how much time is added on. We've had 2 goals scored here in the second half, a couple substitutions. Probably more than the minute that was tacked on in the first 45. Slipping ball through. Won't reach its target. Sosa now running forward. Christian Cheney. He can take it to the corner or he can cut inside. He'll pass it back as we get closer and closer to 90 full minutes. And we're going to get 5 more minutes added on. 5 minutes for Ford Madison to hang on. 5 more minutes for Central Valley to scrape away with a point. Down a man. Midense with some juggles. And the ball will go out. And it's a throw in for forward Madison. Jermaine Jones not pleased with it. He's also wearing a yellow penny now. Probably instructed to do so by the officiating crew to not confuse between the jersey and what he's wearing as he's donning a black shirt. Of course, that's just a guess. Don't have confirmation on that, as we have some testy moments here as the game is winding closer and closer to its conclusion. You see Matt Glazer, maybe one of the few guys who could handle the big body of Christian Cheney because he's actually bigger than him. Cheney's going to get a yellow card, and he is feverish over there. Cheney's second yellow of the season. And he is now pleading his case to the official on the sideline here. And Matt Glazer, definitely one of the bigger and more imposing coaches in the U.S. Of course, a former goalkeeper. So we've got 3 yellow cards total from that mess. Acha Isayaya getting a yellow card, his second of the season. Christian Cheney, of course, getting that yellow card. And then one of the assistant coaches for Madison getting a yellow. And there are the 2 players who were just given booking, still exchanging some words. Cheney, 10 years older than Acha Isayaya. Garrett McLaughlin gets slung down right around the penalty area. And it's a yellow card for Clayton Torr. And it's his second yellow card, so he is also being sent off. I mean, yeah, I don't know how much arguing can be done about that one. Obviously, you're going to try and plead your case, but Clayton Torr going to the ground brought Garrett McLaughlin with him. And now it is 11 v 9 between Forward Madison and Central Valley Fuego. And Clayton Torr, another player that will not be able to play in that game on the weekend, which at this point is the worst consequence for that transgression. Clayton Torr, having played in 10 games, started in 9 of them. He's played over 800 minutes this season for Central Valley Fuego in league action. And they're going to have to figure out a starting lineup without him and Abdul Razak Cromwell along that back line. Ryan Bustamante will sub into the game now. Raul Mendiola will sub out. It was a substitution at the beginning of the half. Now here's a free kick for Forward Madison. It's Boyce, Cheney, and Sosa. Devin Boyce takes the shot, and he got it up over the barrier, but didn't get the dip back down. Devin Boyce with the game-winning goal in this game as it stands. Villalobos will just rip this one forward for McLaughlin to chase down the new Mingo and League One star. Garrett McLaughlin will look to see this one to its final whistle. Draws a foul on Acha Isayaya, who's on a yellow card. And he knows to not test the occasion there, Acha Isayaya. Prentice with a nice turn. Wolfgang Prentice still going with it. And now we'll retreat backwards, oh so wisely. And Boyce draws another foul. Actually, that's Garrett McLaughlin. So we have hit the 5 minutes and then some here. We'll see when Mario Marich will blow that final whistle. Another yellow card, this one given to Midense. At this point, for Central Valley, you just got to let this one go. Don't want to lose any more players for games ahead on the schedule, games that you still have the ability to win. At this point, this one pretty much a lost cause. And there you have it. It's a blue and pink Wednesday for Forward Madison. A 2-1 victory to keep a spotless record at home over Central Valley Fuego. A game rescheduled and a game completed here at Breese Stevens Field to start off week 15. 3 points go to the Mingos here. Matt Glazer's side go up a goal in the first half, find themselves back level early on in the second, and then the substitutes come on again and make a difference. But it's not a substitute who will be our man of the match. It's going to be the game-winning goal scorer. But first, here's our play of the match, brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. This one to give Madison the lead in the first half. Christian Cheney gets back that goal that he lost from the game that was abandoned. He scored in that one. Doesn't count in the record books. This one certainly does now. And of course, like every Christian Cheney goal, you get some good acrobatics after the fact. Let's take a look at the save of the match, brought to you by Electric E-Bikes. Heckenberg popping that one towards goal. And Bernd Shipman able to get his hands on it, fall on top, and swallow all the pace that this ball had. Not going to let it go by. Bernd Shipman just letting one get by him today. Still a good performance from him. It was a great performance from our Festival Foods man of the match, Devin Boyce, scoring the game winner and also providing his patented Devin Boyce energy throughout the 90 minutes. He is our player of the match. And although we've dished out all of our post-game awards, we still have some post-game content coming your way after this break on ESPN+.
This isn't just your normal bike. It folds, it unfolds, and it just goes. Need to climb that hill? No problem. And if you're looking for speed, well, you've come to the right place. 28 miles per hour, up to 65 miles of range. And equipped with hydraulic brakes, this is the Electric XP 3.0. Fully foldable, fully assembled, ships free. Simple as that. Go to electricebikes.com and come ride with us.
It's an S.
On that back. My name is John Murphy.
Pausani Ferry Sosa.
Soy Juan Galindre. I'm Devin Boyce.
I gotta get a couple push-ups in, you know?
I can juggle. Justin. Justicia.
Justice.
Justice. Justice.
Justice from the ground.
Justice from the ground up.
Welcome back to Breese Stevens Field. The Scars are being displayed, and the Mingos have done what they've been doing all season, and that's collecting results in front of their home fans. 2-1 your final score in favor of Matt Glazer's side. Mark Schutzer here with you on ESPN+. Let's take a look at the highlights from the 90 minutes of action here between the Mingos and Central Valley Fuego. Starting off with this wonderful ball from the captain, Mitch Osmond. Floating it forward, great touch. And then an even greater pass to Christian Cheney, who has a nice finish to get another goal on the season, his 6th of the year in league play. If you count Jägermeister Cup competitions, it's 7 total for Christian Cheney. And of course, who doesn't love a little backflip? Then, to start the second half, Central Valley Fuego would find an answer, and it'd come from the 19-year-old Javier Mariona, connecting with Midense, and then he'd return the favor back, and Mariona would not let Midense regret that pass. A filthy finish from the youngster. And what can Bert Shipman do about that one? I don't think there's much he could have done. 1-1 in this affair, and it was tight after that. It would wait until a breakaway opportunity, some substitutions would be made, and Wolfgang Prentice, for the second game in a row, would make an impact coming off of the bench. He'd have so much room to operate. He'd wait, and then he'd find Devin Boyce, and Boyce doing the rest oh so neatly. Just a cool goal from these Mingos. Didn't need to be anything amazing. It just needed to be clinical, and that is what they did. The Mingos continuing to roll here as they dance into 3 more points at home. And we'll now look to see if they can accrue 3 points in some of these upcoming games, brought to you by Dairyland. I already talked about on the weekend. They've got a game against the Hailstorm, and then they've got a big one on the road against Union Omaha. That game could end up having big implications on who sits atop the table at the end of the season, but you got to look first at that game against Ayman Zayed's crew on the weekend. Quick turnaround, of course, as well. So you got to manage legs, you got to manage the forward thinking of the season. And of course, the Hailstorm in and of themselves are a tough foe to handle, as is most teams in USL League One in general. But that is how this one will conclude here between Central Valley Fuego and Forward Madison. Once again, Central Valley will be going up against Tormenta on Saturday. But for our broadcasting crew, I'm Mark Schoenster. We appreciate you tuning into this one on ESPN Plus, the lone game on ESPN Plus tonight for the USL. You'll be a fantastic rest of your night, and we'll see you next time. Your final score, Forward Madison 2, Central Valley Fuego 1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.